focus? Because, like, I really think I'm not. Hey guys, it's Leia. I'm just gonna jump right into the video. Today we're gonna be doing a DIY for how to make this backdrop that you see behind me. It's a pretty loose DIY just because obviously not everyone wants to make the exact same backdrop, but it's going to teach you some basic skills on how to do things like cut and glue, and we're just going to do kindergarten all over again. I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you have just as much fun creating your backdrop as I did mine. You're going to start this crafting adventure by walking into the store. Not entirely sure how copyright issues work, so we're just going to call this place Hooby Looby. After a quick visit with your one true love, you're going to continue navigating the maze that is Hooby Looby until you get run over by an old lady with a shopping cart. Continue walking until you get sidetracked by... After wasting multiple hours of your life, you'll finally reach the promised land, where you'll find exactly what you're looking for, and Sissy, you just can't choose between the two. Decide to sleep on your decision and eventually give in to your fear of commitment and just take it all. Now, the first and most important step in any craft project is positioning your actual craft. As you can see here, I've chosen a wall that's directly opposite of a window, so I'll have natural lighting to use. If you choose to, you can mark out your boundaries with tape or ribbon, just so you can see where your boundaries are going to start and stop and where you can place things. If you're going to be placing your backdrop somewhere where you don't want it to always be visible, you might want to consider doing what I've done here and sticking a tapestry or a poster or something in front of it, just so you can't always see it. I've also added hooks to the top of my tapestry for easy removal. I first started by creating the scale template that I will be using for the entire backdrop. I did so by cutting 2 identical squares from a piece of paper. After getting one of those squares, fold it in half and cut a small curve on the edge of the paper, making sure that the folded side is not the curved side. Once you get that curve just how you like it, you're going to go ahead and fold the other sheet of paper and cut the exact same curve into that one. Then flip one of the sheets of paper and make sure the curve is facing the opposite direction on the other half of the paper. Once you cut that, you will have your entire scale. Before continuing, make sure the curves of both your scales line up. This is extremely important. After you finish creating your scale template, you're simply going to trace them onto a piece of paper. Don't worry if you can only fit half or 3/4 of a scale onto a certain piece of paper. You can definitely use those for the edges of your final project. After you finish tracing those scales onto the sheet of paper, just cut them out and you will be ready for your next step. This next step is completely optional, but I do feel like it gives the scales a little extra pop, so if you'd like to do it, I highly encourage it. What you're going to do is pick another piece of paper that's a different color than what your scales already are. Obviously, I chose something sparkly. You're going to cut that sheet of paper to the width of your scales and just go ahead and trace the bottom of your scale, creating about a centimeter or half a centimeter outline, depending on how big you want yours to be. Now take those little sparkly ends and add them to your scales, obviously with more than air like I did in the video. Now on to some letters. Now if you don't want any letters in your backdrop at all, you can go ahead and skip this portion. But if you do want letters, that's what we're going to be covering. Now I used to work at a daycare where I made bulletin boards, so I cranked out hundreds of these puppies every single day. And when a kid's trying to shove their head into a dollhouse, you get pretty quick at making them. But if you can't eyeball letters and you can't make them by hand, that's perfectly alright. All you have to do is go online and Google the letter that you would like to make. You can either print that out as a stencil or stick your page right up to the computer and trace it out. However, if you're going to be making letters the old-fashioned way like me, you're going to start by cutting your paper to the height of the letters you would like to make. Right off the bat, I would just go ahead and cut a couple of lines just because you know you're going to need them anyway. Now when I'm making letters, I like to start off by making a simple I. You can see this under the cutting I'm doing right now. This is so I'll have a uniform width to base the rest of my letters off of. Next, I'm going to be making an H, so I just cut that rectangle out. The most important thing to remember about making letters is that almost every single letter either has horizontal or vertical symmetry. This means you can fold the letter in half before cutting it to ensure that both of your sides look the same. Now back to what I just explained about the I. You can stick the I on top of the H to cut vertical lines that are the exact same width. You can also use this for horizontal lines, diagonal lines, any kind of lines you want to throw on those letters. Now on to the final and best step of this project, decorating your actual backdrop. Now there's not much to tell you here other than have fun. Throw on some music, get to dancing, do whatever you want. The best part about this step is that there's no wrong way to do it.
So guys, that was my DIY video backdrop video. Great title, we're gonna use that. If you did decide to follow along and make a beautiful backdrop, go ahead and leave me a picture in the comments. As always, remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, or hit that big red X in the corner. Really don't care what you do. And remember to have a mermazing day. Yeah, that was stupid. We're not gonna do that. I'll think of an outro later, guys. Bear with me.